My name is Tall, and this is YouTube channel Traveling Tall. And the channel is about motorcycles, mainly Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Test rides, tutorials, product reviews, demos, installations, and side-by-side comparisons and traveling. Today, I'm coming to you from the parking lot talking about something that we all do on motorcycles. If you ride a motorcycle, eventually you have to park it. I made an Instagram post a week ago, and someone asked me why I park my motorcycle the way that I do. So I want to share with you why I park my motorcycle the way that I park it, and also some other parking tips for you. Watch today's video. It's going to be a good video. So I want to pretend that there's a big SUV right here in this parking space. There's another big SUV right here in this parking space. Now you can see my motorcycle is parked closer to the front of the parking space. And the reason why I do that is because when you have an SUV here or a big car here or a car here, and someone is looking for an empty parking spot, if your motorcycle is parked back here at the back of the parking space, or if you look at it this way, at the front of the parking space, but deep into the parking space, it could give the appearance that that parking spot is empty. So if someone is driving looking for a parking spot and they see that there's nothing here, no bumper or anything hanging out, by the time that they round this corner and your bike is deep into that parking space, they're already committed into what they're doing. Sometimes they're not paying attention. They just saw that the space was empty. Your bike's back here, hit your bike's fell over, and most of the time they're not sticking around to tell somebody. Come on now, most people are not going to stick around to tell somebody that they ran into their Harley-Davidson. I've heard stories about that before. They just back up and leave. So the reason why I do it, to have the front end more visible when a car is driving looking for an empty parking space. They may see the front wheel in the motorcycle and realize this parking space has been occupied and just move on. It gives you a better chance to keep your motorcycle upright. And that's what it's all about. That is what we do as motorcyclists. We always want to heighten our chances to keep our motorcycle on two wheels and not on its side somewhere, whether it be riding or even in the parking spot. There's always lessons to learn on a motorcycle. So reason number 2, front of the parking spot. 99% of the cars are going to be parking straight in. If you park straight in and you have a regular car, you know, most cars are going to have the engine in the front. The oil is going to leak out about right in here between the front 2 tires. The coolant could leak out about right in here. Transmission a little bit further back, but still about right in this location. Now, if you ride a 2-wheel motorcycle, it's important to make sure that you have traction. You don't want to get oil on your tires. You don't want to get coolant or transmission or whatever else fluid on your tire to make you lose traction. That right there within itself is another reason why you should never park back here, back in this spot here. And then the third reason, you're parked with your bike facing out, because you never know when you might have to leave in a hurry, or, I mean, not saying that you do things that you have to leave in a hurry, but you never know what situation might arise where you need to get out quickly. This is the way that I do it. I don't want to say that this is the only way to do it. I'm just telling you this is the way that I do it. And if you have a better way of doing it, by all means, comment below and let everyone know, because this is what it's about. It's a riding community. We're helping one another with some of the more common things that a lot of us overlook. I've been riding for a while, and I kind of developed my own techniques and stuff for how I do things, even though I know some of the things that I do, the books say that I should do it differently. But again, you have to make the best decision for yourself, and this is the way I choose to do this. Another thing, and this has nothing, absolutely nothing at all to do with safety or making sure that, you know, you're being seen. Well, it does, but it's being seen in a different way. Leaving the wheel straight. The bike just looks so much better when you have the bike upright in that position with the wheel straight. That view right there, look at it, especially if you have a 21 or a chrome wheel or something like that. I don't care if it's a 19. When I had factory wheels on this, I always left the front wheel straight because the bike just looks better that way. Now let's get into some more advanced. I laugh when I say advanced because we're talking about parking, but I'm going to give you some more tips on the different situations of parking and how to park. We're going to talk about parking on an incline. We're going to talk about parking on a decline. And we're also going to talk about parking on an uneven surface. All right, guys, so now I want to show you how we're parking running downhill. As you can see, you can't really see downhill all that great on the camera, but you can see all of this, how this is going right here. And when you're going downhill, it's important to always make sure, you guys, I put my bike in first gear on flat surface, but always make sure your bike is in gear on downhill, even if you're parking parallel. But if I was really leaving the bike, I wouldn't do it that way. I would turn, let me get back on and show you. I would make sure the kickstand's out, turn the wheel, and then let the bike over. Now, the reason why I do that, because of course it's in first gear. I want to make sure all the weight is on the kickstand side. That's why I would never pull in straight and have the bike more upright and prone to fall over to go down the hill. I've got all the weight on the side where it's going down the hill. Now, that is going to make it extremely difficult to get this motorcycle, this 900-pound motorcycle, off of the side stand, jiffy stand, if it's a Harley. So let me show you. Now, I'm tall, so I can actually do this, turn it like this, and lift it up, standing up. But some people can't do that. Some people's legs are pretty short, so let's just say, let's do it sitting down. You want to turn the wheel, and as you turn the wheel, lean it over. It's difficult to get an 880-pound bike off of the side stand, especially with all the weight going downhill. This way, it makes it a little bit easier for you. All right, so now this one, I'm going to show you how to park a motorcycle going uphill. Okay, got the clutch pulled in. The motorcycle is still in first. Got my two fingers right here on the front brake. All right, now I'm going to let the clutch out. Gonna let the brake off. The motorcycle is being held in first gear. And I do that before I put the kickstand down, because sometimes if you have the clutch still, if you still have the brake held on and you put the kickstand down, then you let the brake off, the bike will roll a little bit. So it's actually holding in gear. Not saying I like it to do that. I really don't like parking my bike this way, where there's a lot of weight against the gear. I don't like doing that, but sometimes it's necessary. Now you can kind of see by the way these things, they get bigger as they go down. This is a pretty steep grade. You can't really tell because on camera you can't see those things, but you can see how it goes down like that. If this was the perfect situation where this would be a curve back here, I would back in and just, if it's low enough, you're not hitting your pipes, put my back tire on that curve and then turn my bars to the left. So I wouldn't be at a full side profile. I'd kind of be at a 3/4 profile like this. I try to avoid parking that way, but sometimes you have to. Now let's talk about this. Parking downhill, my absolute least favorite to do. You're taking a bigger risk when you're parking downhill. So let's do it anyway. The bike is in first. I'm gonna let the clutch go, let the front brake go. The bike rode forward just a little bit. Kickstand's down. Put the bike over, turn the wheel. The reason why I let the clutch out, then the brake out, then set the bike over is because I'm taking up that little bit of slack. I mean, the bike likes to roll forward and move that kickstand a little bit. And we know that there's a stop on the kickstand. How many times have you been riding your bike and you get off and the bike rolls forward a little bit and it seems like that kickstand, just like you're that close from that thing to fall over, and you kind of run back to the bike and reposition that kickstand. Yeah, I've done it 100 times. So I always want to make sure all the slack is out of it before I actually lean the bike over. And while I have the bike in this position, let me show you something that you want to avoid, especially if you got short legs. I'm not even gonna start the bike for this. You definitely don't want to do this. This is what you don't want to have to do. You're parking in a position where the motorcycle is running downhill. You don't want to do that. Always try to find you a good place to park for you don't have to back out using your legs, pushing this big bike uphill. You don't want to do that. A lot of us attend events and you're parking in fields, you're parking in gravel, you're parking in sand and dirt, grass. Always carry you a parking puck. This thing right here. Because if you're parking in sand, parking in gravel, or all those other things I just mentioned, that kickstand can sink down in it. You come back and your bike's fell over. So this is meant to go under your kickstand. For those that don't have one of those, you're going to an event, look in your saddlebag, see what you have, empty bottle of water, crush it flat, put your kickstand on it. A soft drink can or whatever, any kind of aluminum can, crush that flat, put your kickstand on it. Can't find that? Find a flat rock, put your kickstand on it. Can't find that? Take your gloves, I've done it before, and put your kickstand on it. Can't find that? Then maybe find a new place to park. All right, guys, so I'm going to end this video here. Hopefully some of these tips can help you out. Again, make sure you put in the comment section below how you do it. I'm sure the riding community, the travelers would like to know. Again, comment and put it in the comment section on how you park your motorcycle. Hopefully some of these tips helped you out. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. Again, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, keep gliding. And as always, have a blessed day. And also, see you in Daytona.